from NoDQ.com. This is a very unique edition of NoDQ Live. I have been spending the afternoon at the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago when all of a sudden my phone started blowing up. And the big news today is that Big Cass has been released by WWE just 2 days after losing to Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank via submission. A few people have already messaged me saying I should do a live video, so I hauled ass to my car because my phone battery was low, and I got set up here to do a quick breaking news live video regarding the release of Big Cass. Of course, this is a developing story. Head over to NoDQ.com for any further details regarding Cass, and I'm sure I'll talk about this more tonight on NoDQ Live following SmackDown, but I figured I would do a quick video here and give you guys my initial reaction to this. My guess is that the rumors are true about Big Cass having backstage heat. For those of you that missed it, a few weeks ago, Big Cass did that angle with the little Daniel Bryan where he gave Bryan the big boot, the little Daniel Bryan, and then he proceeded to strike this Bryan imposter with several punches. Now, according to the rumor and innuendo, to use a phrase from Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson, Big Cass was not supposed to throw those punches after delivering the big boot. And what made this a serious issue, reportedly, is that Cass had asked beforehand if he could do it, and even asked Vince McMahon if he could do it, and Vince said no. So I think the heat here was that Cass went against Vince's orders. Vince told him no, and he still went out there and did it anyway. This would certainly explain a lot of things. This would explain why Big Cass lost at Backlash via submission to Daniel Bryan. This would explain why Bryan beat the crap out of Cass in London, and then they did this injury angle with Cass. This would explain why Cass lost again to Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank. When I was there at Money in the Bank, I was like, okay, what do you do now with Cass? You just ruined him. Big Cass's credibility is all about his size. When you take that away from him, when you show that being a big guy doesn't mean anything, Cass really has nothing going on. I thought his promos were pretty good. I thought he was getting better, and I thought he showed some fire. And I think there was potential with him, but apparently he did something he was not supposed to do. And in WWE, unless you're Roman Reigns, and even if you're Roman Reigns, everybody is expendable. People can be released at the drop of a hat. If WWE doesn't want you, there's not much you can do. I feel bad for Big Cass because I feel like he was really at this level where he could be a major superstar. He had the size, he could cut promos, in my opinion, and I feel like you just give the guy a chance to be a monster and he could be a big deal in WWE. But apparently not a lot of people agree with me. One person in the chat room says that they're not going to miss him at all. F-size and his promos were not good. See, I disagree. I thought he showed passion when he was cutting his promos. I felt like he really believed it. So to me, that means something when you can go out there and you can be convincing. And I felt like he was really venting his frustrations when he talked about how he was coming back from injury and all people were talking about was Daniel Bryan. It felt real to me. That's why I liked it. And I had no issue with Big Cass and Daniel Bryan having a match. I thought if WWE had Big Cass versus The Miz, you could potentially do this storyline where Cass and Miz are working together. Bryan has to get through the bodyguard and then go face The Miz maybe at SummerSlam. So I felt like there was something here, and it was interesting. But WWE just basically blew it off. Bryan beat Cass not once but twice. And Big Cass sucked, says Josh. People in the chat room asking me about Enzo and what's going on now with Enzo Amore, and what does this mean with Big Cass being released? Does this open the door for a Big Cass and Enzo Amore reunion on the indies? Obviously WWE's not too worried about that, you know. They don't release people often, so this has to be a big deal. For WWE to release him, he must have done something really wrong, because they haven't been in this pattern of releasing people as of late. They'll just let contracts run out. They'll keep him off TV and just pay him his downside guarantee until his contract expires. They just outright released him. That's really saying something. Enzo recently criticized Big Cass, going back to when Cass got injured and did not finish the match. Enzo ranted on Cass for that. So I don't know if they're going to reunite. I think there's potentially money in the two of them reuniting on the indie scene and maybe even TNA. So I would not rule it out as a possibility if the guys are doing it for business, but will Enzo even be interested in working with Cass and vice versa? It definitely feels like there's some politics going on here in WWE with Cass's release. This wasn't just WWE feeling that there's nothing they can do with him, because Cass is 7 feet tall. He's a Vince guy. He's the type of guy that Vince likes to push. So when they bury him on television, you know, something else is going on here. So we'll see what happens with Big Cass. I am a little bit surprised and a little ticked off, because I'm trying to enjoy my final hours in Chicago, and all of a sudden I get all these texts about Big Cass being released. I was hoping it would be somewhat of a slow day. I mean, on one hand, I like the busy news because it generates more traffic for the website. I make more money. But at the same time, when I'm on vacation or whatnot and I'm trying to enjoy something else, but I'm always prepared. I'm always prepared for anything to happen. I have my laptop with me. I have my tripod. I have all these other things. So I'm always prepared for some sort of breaking news. And when it happens, I got to get to work. And that's what I'm doing here, doing this video right now. Why is somebody saying pick up your phone? I'm recording this on my phone. I'm not even sure who that guy is, so I don't know why he's acting like he knows me. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding Cass, and spread the word. Tonight I will be doing another edition of No DQ Live, and it's funny because I saw history on Sunday. I saw Big Cass's final WWE match. How about that? Got to witness history here in the Windy City. Big Cass's final match, Money in the Bank 2018. Literally like 3 months after coming back. So he was gone for a year with an injury. He comes back, and then 3 months later he gets released. Has to suck to be Big Cass right now. And then whatever happened between him and Carmella too. Just, I feel bad for the guy with the year he's had, the injury, the breakup with Carmella, and now this. It just feels like he's just spiraling out of control. And not just his professional, but his personal life as well. And then Enzo's whole situation. It's just funny how 2 years ago Enzo and Cass were red hot in WWE, and now they're both gone from the company. So that's all I got for now. Hopefully we'll have some more information, but I think this release basically confirms what has been out there about him with the backstage heat and being in the doghouse, and the company just decided to cut him loose when they usually do not release people, and they did not wish him well in his future endeavors. And that's really saying something, and maybe there's even more to this. So again, stay tuned. As soon as more details become available, they'll be up on NoDQ.com. Emily says, this reminds me of when they released Austin Aries. It was that surprising. See, I didn't think he was going to get fired. I thought, you know what, they're just going to either keep him around as a mid-card guy or just not use him. And if they don't like him, they'll just not use him until his contract runs out. But here they just flat out released him, not wishing him well in his future endeavors. So that's all I got. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors, and I will talk to you guys later tonight for No DQ Live. So please tell a friend and spread the word.